He gets in an elevator and goes up to the second floor. Mr. Vandenberg carries her out of the elevator, through the surveillance-covered hallway, and into room 213. When they enter room 213, there is no longer surveillance coverage, but cell phones come out.
Eventually, they pick her back up again after they're done taking these pictures and drag her over to Vandenberg's dorm room.
Within 2 minutes of entering the room, this unconscious woman is dumped on the floor and she starts to be sexually violated. Inside the Criminal Justice Center in Nashville, Tennessee, sit former teammates Brendan Vandenberg and Cory Batey. 2 men at the center of one of the biggest headline-making trials of the year. Cory Batey testified that on the night of the attack, he consumed so much alcohol that he has no memory of committing a crime. But the jurors were shown damning video and graphic images of Cory violating the victim. Today, in an exclusive interview, Cory Batey breaks his silence about his part in the incident that shocked the nation. You have just been convicted of these charges that we've all been following, and I want to be clear, we approached you about this interview, correct?
That's correct.
We did that because we really want to know what you were thinking.
Yes.
In this. Take me back to the moment when you heard that verdict read in court. Did you expect that to happen?
Well, I was just prepared for anything. I mean, I've never been in a situation like that before, so it was kind of shocking. I guess it kind of felt surreal. This is my first time ever being in contact with any type of law enforcement regarding this. I guess the moment when it set in is when I looked to the right and I saw my family crying, and then that's when it got real for me.
Cory, I ask you this first, not as Dr. Phil, but as a father.
Yes, sir.
I look at the events of that night and what happened to that girl, and I look at your conduct on that tape. I have to ask you, what the hell were you thinking? What the hell were you thinking?
I mean, I was drunk out of my mind, so I don't think I was thinking. And I mean, that's just not a clear representation of who I am. As they were showing that stuff, as trial went on, I just couldn't believe it was me. It was hard to put myself in that person's shoes. And I mean, I can't express how sorry I am for my actions.
But it was you, and you said you were drunk out of your mind. What do you mean by drunk out of your mind? When you woke up the next morning, did you remember what took place?
No, sir, I did not.
You had no recall whatsoever?
No recall.
Because when we look at you on tape, you look to be functioning. You're walking, you're talking, you're laughing. I mean, she looks blackout drunk. She looks unconscious. She looks completely helpless. You're up, talking, moving, emoting. You're doing all of that.
You know, I think a lot of people can get drunk and not remember and still, function. Like I said, I don't recall anything from that night. When I saw those things in court, it just looked so unfamiliar to me.
Take me through the first time you saw yourself doing that.
I couldn't believe myself. How could I let myself get to that point and let myself act out that way, because my whole life, I feel like I've always been a caring individual to look out for the helpless or the less fortunate. I mean, although I come from less fortunate, I've always had a heart to help. And, that night, that just wasn't my heart. That just wasn't me.
Do you have a story or a question for me? Click the link in the description and tell me what in the world is going on.